Finally, I'd just like to go over, my personal record predictions and, the different lineups and pitching rotations. 2 months left. Plenty of time for teams like the Predators to make some moves, need a couple more players. This obviously could change, but, this is what I got currently. Predators have them 6th. I'm thinking 0-16, Quickly, they weren't the worst team, then they were again. I mean, it's really been a roller coaster this offseason if you're a Predators fan. But, I'd like to start things off. Their rotation, first I got Eric Simpkins, solid ace. 2, we got Isaac Bergeron, doesn't have a lot of experience pitching, got a pretty good arm, I think he'll be a good number 2 for them. I think that's all they got rolling for their team right now. Then 3rd, I'd have Jurgensen. I'd like to disagree with Leaf. I think he'll get a little bit of pitching in, but, as a manager, I think he'll make the decision to let Bergeron and Simpkins pitch a lot more. Hitting leadoff for the Predators, I'd have Simpkins. 2nd, Bergeron, pretty good 2-hitter. Some power, not a lot of contact there, but, he's got quite a bit of power. Then 3rd, I'd like to predict Kieran Jurgensen hits 3rd, but you know what? They need a couple more players. I don't have a 4th hitter right now. Next, I'd like to predict the Houston Hornets will be going 3-13. A lot of people are going to be upset about this. I don't see a lot coming out of this team. I think that there's going to be the 4 pretty good teams, Hornets and Predators at the bottom. Let's see. They are not in the same division, so I think the next 4 teams after I go over the Hornets are making the playoffs. For the Hornets, their rotation, I think this is what's really weak for them. They got Ravishir starting it off. Pretty good pitcher. Then next, Zach Roy. Don't know a lot about him, Like a lot of the pitching staff, don't think he has a lot of experience. And then 3rd, it's a reserve. They don't have a lot of pitching on this team. Like I said earlier, they have Muff pitching 3rd. Really what they need is pitching in any form. Teams that have a lot, they could probably strike a trade. There was an attempted move for Muff. I think that would have been a great trade for both sides, They need pitching. They need pitching pretty badly. Next, I'd like to go with the Scorpions. They do have the star of the league, face of the league, Danny Rickert. Other than that, they don't have a lot rolling for their team. I think their lineup, Leaf Jurgensen leading it off, and then obviously Matt Yandow, I'd say, comes in 2nd. And, now that I think about it, I'd actually like to reform the lineup here. I'd like to say Rickert hits leadoff, a lot of power there. Has some speed, can beat out a lot of singles. And then I'd like to say Yandow, a lot of power coming out of the 2 spot. And I'd like to say Jurgensen, cleaning it all up. For their rotation, Rickert, obviously best pitcher in the league. Jurgensen coming in 2nd. He did a phenomenal job pitching last year. I was really surprised looking back on last year. He did a really good job on the mound. Then 3rd, Yandow. Hasn't pitched before. Maybe they should pick up another guy. All they have is Oric on reserve right now. He's not a pitcher. They need a 3rd pitcher. Then next we got the Toronto Terror, new team. I'm really expecting a lot of this team. This is looking like a great team. My bad. Scorpions are going 9-7. Now, on to the Terror. Sorry, folks. Now, I think the Terror, they're going 11-5, I think Tanner Wompert leads it all off. Got some great contact, great power, pretty good speed, great all-around player. Then I think Braden Jones coming 2nd, will clean him off the bases. And then 3rd, Hershowitz, don't really know a lot about the player, but I think he'll do a pretty good job, hits 3rd. 4th, I think they have Calvin Merrill, I don't know if he's going to add a lot to that lineup. And then their rotation here is going to be Wompert, pretty good player. Really good on the mound. Jones, don't really know a lot about the guy, heard he's a good pitcher. Then Hershowitz, heard he's pretty good, has a good arm. And then 4th, Calvin Merrill, if needed, maybe a bullpen player, maybe the closer. I think he fits the closer role well, did a good job of that last season. Next up, Las Vegas Lightning. I think they're coming in 2nd here, 1 game ahead of the Toronto Terror. And, think that they're going to go 12-4. Their lineup, it's looking like right now, Morse, good speed, subpar contact. I think really what he needs to focus on is the hitting side of the ball. Pretty good on everything else, speed, hitting, or speed, fielding, pitching, hitting is terrible. Mr. Conowitz, Jackson Conowitz, the team captain actually, will be hitting in the 2 spot. You know, pretty good player, lots of good power, underrated hitter. And next up, we got Christian Valley, new player from St. Albans. You know, he's a pretty good player. I don't think a lot of people in this league will know him, but you know, pretty good player, hitting 3. And then they have Riley Kloss, ending it off 4th. You know, was expected to be the leadoff hitter. However, I'd really give the edge to the speed of Morse. And then their rotations looking like the best in the league. We got Sam Morse first, Jackson Conowitz, and then Valley finishing it off. Strong suit for this team is definitely going to be pitching. I don't know about their hitting right now. Not completely sold. You know, I'm a big fan of their pitching staff, though. You know, Boston Bobcats coming in first place. I think they're going 13-3. They got an excellent team. You know, I think leading off for their team, Alex Leonard, big hoss. You know, I mean, what can I say? He's got some great speed, big wheels. You know, golf player. I think he'll make some good contact. And they got Ryan Eaton coming up next. I mean, I think he'll really hit a lot of home runs. I mean, best hitter in the league, best player on the Bobcats. And next up, Hunter Whitman. I think he'll either be in the 3rd spot or the 1st spot. I don't know what Eaton wants to do. Maybe he'll hit leadoff. You know, he's got really good speed. But, you know, Hunter Whitman, you know, pretty good hitter, really good hitter coming out of the 3 spot. And next up, Henry Berger. I think he's the 4th man. Don't really have anywhere else to put him. You know, good speed. That's a good thing to have out of the 4th spot, last spot in the order. I mean, I think he'll do an all right job. And their rotations looking like Eaton, one of the better pitchers in our league. Alex Leonard, new pitcher, big hoss. You know, I think he'll also do a great job on the pitching side of the ball. Then Hunter Whitman, obviously a really good fielder. Doesn't have the greatest arm in our league, but, I mean, he'll get the job done as a 3rd pitcher. I mean, he's very good. Don't get me wrong. Now, you know what? Going into the postseason, I think winners out of both divisions, Lightning and Scorpions. You know, I think in the West, so it's Lightning and Scorpions. Home field advantage would go to the Lightning as they had a 3-game better record. You know, I think they take it 3-2. I think Rickert pitches the both first 2 games. You know, I think he really does a phenomenal job, carries the team in both those games. But then after that, I think just the depth of pitching for the Las Vegas Lightning, they come back from 2-0. They make it to the World Series, win the series 3-2. You know, on the east side, we got Toronto and the Bobcats, 2 of the best teams. This is definitely going to be a postseason matchup for the ages. You know, I'll be the first one to say the Toronto Terror could be headed to the World Series. I mean, I really think that this will be a 2-2 series, 5th game. I really don't know. It's up in the air. You know, I think I'm going to assume if Alex Leonard does a phenomenal job for the Bobcats, as I predict he will. You know, Bobcats are going to the World Series. I think he will do a good job. If Leonard doesn't do a great job like I expect, you know, Toronto's headed to the World Series. But, however, my 2 teams going to the World Series are the Lightning and the Bobcats. Very evenly matched teams, you know, only 1 game apart. Obviously, the Terror also down 1 game. But, I mean, really, let's get down to it. I think the Boston Bobcats are winning the World Series 4-3, 7 games. You know, I think it's gotten a lot closer. Bobcats haven't made a lot of moves. The Lightning have been. So, you know, I really think Lightning will get there. Don't think they're winning it. They've won 3 World Series in a row. You know, I don't think they have it this year. Bobcats win it all in 2019. Thank you, folks, for watching. Stay tuned Tuesdays for the next episode. This was the 2nd installment. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. Have a great night.